चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So yesterday we were discussing about this thing, um, the vision of self-realized person, how he sees everyone on equal platform, and we very elaborately discussed about how one should see equality on a soul platform, but certainly the dealings will be seeing the external situation of the person. So now we'll go to verse number 21. Is just sharing the screen. Just 1 minute. Yeah. So please recite. Who is supposed to recite?
Hare Krishna, Mahesh, Mohan devotees there can recite.
बाह्यस्पर्शे स्व असक्तात्मा
बाह्यस्पर्शे स्वसक्तात्मा
विन्द्यन्त्यात्मनि यत् सुखम्
विन्दन्त्यात्मनि यत् सुखम्
योगयुक्तात्मा
स ब्रह्म
ब्रह्मयोगयुक्तात्मा
सुखं क्षयमुष्णुते.
सुखमक्षयमश्नुते.
Such a liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasure, but is always in trance, enjoying the pleasure within. In this way, the self-realized person enjoys unlimited happiness for he concentrates on the Supreme. Sri Yamunacharya, a great devotee in Krishna consciousness, said, Yat avadi mama cheta Krishna padarvinde navanavaras udayatam rantum asit tad avadhi vataranari sangane smaraya स्मरयमाने भवति mukha vikarha shushta nishtuvanam cha. Since I have been engaged in the transcendental loving service of Krishna, realizing ever new pleasure in him, whenever I think of sex pleasure, I spit at the thought, and my lips curl with distaste. A person in Brahma Yoga or Krishna consciousness is so absorbed in the loving service of the Lord that that he loses his taste for material sense pleasure altogether. The highest pleasure in terms of matter is sex pleasure. The whole world is moving under its spell, and the materialist cannot work at all without this motivation. But a person engaged in Krishna consciousness can work with avoids that is the taste in spiritual realization. Spiritual realization and sex pleasure go ill together. A Krishna conscious person is not attracted to any kind of sense pleasure. due to his being a liberated soul.
Yeah. So yesterday, this 20 and 21st verse are describing the symptoms of self-realized soul. So yesterday we discussed in 20th verse that self-realized soul means he does not rejoice or lament. He is very sharp in intelligence and is unbewildered, fixed in self. Now in this verse, the further symptoms of self-realized soul are described. So one of the very important symptom is that he is very intelligent. As we know that Jai Bhaje Krishna Sai Bada Chatur. So he rejects sense gratification and instead he seeks pleasure in Supreme. So it is not that a devotee, he simply sometimes people say ना कितना कष्ट कर रहा है ये बेचारा भक्त, कितना मेहनत कर रहा है बेचारा, सुबह सुबह उठता है, इन क्या 2 घंटा हरे कृष्णा हरे राम करते रहता है, और ये नहीं खाने का, वो नहीं चलेगा, ये नहीं चलेगा, ऐसा नहीं करने का, सो मेनी रूल्स, पुअर फेलो, यू नो, स्ट्रगल, बहुत स्ट्रगल कर रहा है, इतना स्ट्रगल, life is filled with struggle of duty. People feel like that, but it is not like that actually, you know. So it is the, certainly there is some amount of tapasya, but a devotee does not do tapasya for nothing. Means ऐसा नहीं कि जो तपस्या करते हैं devotee, जो तपस्या कर रहे, it is just for nothing. No, this tapasya is actually to gain higher pleasure. So in next verse Prabhupada will explain that also. It is for getting the higher pleasure. So to a degree one replaces this sensuality with spirituality. That is success in spiritual life actually. So devotee's tapasya is not in vain. It is not that poor fellow, he simply suffers. He is not a sadistic person. You understand the term sadistic? Sadistic means one who takes pleasure in sorrow. Means कुछ बुरा हुआ तो अच्छा लगता है उनको. That is sadistic philosophy. But devotee is not sadistic like that. He is neither the denial. It is not that he is denying the pleasure, but he is getting higher pleasure. That is the simple fact. So and we see that in this material world, highest pleasure is sex pleasure, and generally that is the greatest impetus to work in this material world, isn't it? We see that, you know, when people, you know, even in Bhagavatam and all, we read that, you know, this when person gets sex pleasure, you know, he is ready to work very hard for that in all respects. You know, he can whatever, he can study, he can earn, he can spend, he can work in any way just to get that sex pleasure. That is considered topmost pleasure in the material terms. But if that sex pleasure is not there, then there is sometimes no motivation to work. Like that people feel. It's the greatest motivation in this world. Actually on this sex pleasure only all Bollywood industry, Hollywood industry, advertisement industry, media, they're all centered around this on the sex pleasure. So but it is not that if one is not getting sex pleasure, then there cannot be any motivation for work. That's what Prabhupada is telling. A person in Krishna consciousness, he can work with greater vigor even without sex pleasure also. See, one thing is very clear, that pleasure is the motivation for any work. Without pleasure, we cannot work. Nobody works without any pleasure, isn't it? Even no animal also works. No, such a person is called as mad also if he doesn't get any pleasure, isn't it? Every person has some pleasure motive behind work, isn't it? But then, so we discussed, so in material world, the highest pleasure is sex pleasure. But then devotee, even though he may not experience sex pleasure in a very regulated manner, still his motivation to work doesn't go away. It continues. In fact, it may increase, because that means what? That means what?
Something different is testing.
Yeah, he must be having experiencing higher pleasure. That is possible. That's why he is, because if there is no pleasure, then why person will work? He is not a fool. Devotee is not a fool, and no fool will work without pleasure. So because devotee gets some pleasure, so that's why he is ready to work very hard. So that's why it is said that the only way which one can overcome lust is through love for spiritual master. It is only through love for spiritual master that one can conquer our lust. Because lust gives a lot of pleasure. Unless until you get something better than that, you will not give it up, isn't it? It's a simple calculation. So this is the test in spiritual realization. Prabhupada says that how much distasteful one has become for sex pleasure. How much one has become free from sex pleasure. That's why he's quoting Yamunacharya. That he says that since I have been experiencing newer and newer pleasure, I feel whenever the thought of sex pleasure comes, my lips curl in distress, and I spit at that thought. So that is the taste Prabhupada is mentioning. So so that's what devotees. The spiritual realization and sex pleasures go ill together. Also, Prabhupada is writing. So. Anyways, the further verse, certain more points will come. I wanted to say some things, but they are coming in next verse also. So, so we'll just say that. See, this Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he comments that just as a person is eating sweetmeats, has no inclination to eat mud. Similarly, a liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasures because he is able to experience such great joy in his life. So, even in sadhaka stage, it is not that this joy is not experienced. In one of the some classes, few classes ago, some devotee was asking, Prabhuji, we have apparently given up material pleasures, but we are not getting spiritual pleasure also. Then what is our position? But it is not true. Although we may be sadhakas, but we do experience spiritual pleasures. I hope every one of us agrees this. Otherwise, why we are practicing Krishna consciousness, isn't it? So we do experience certain spiritual pleasures. So yes, it may be true that on devotee might have given up certain things. Once upon a time, one friend of devotee was asking, what are your rules? And he says, we don't eat meat. This is in foreign. We don't drink liquor. We don't engage into illicit sex. We don't engage into gambling. And he was telling, how you are alive? फिर आप करते क्या है? If you don't have this thing, this is the life. According to him, this was the life. That these four things are the only life, because in foreign this is the life for people. But but devotees. So he told him, okay, you come, I'll show you what I do. And then he could understand. Oh, it's so wonderful. Their life is so nice. If you have heard that lecture of His Holiness Indradyumna Maharaj on 2.5 weeks in church, have you heard anybody? Oh, you should hear that. It's the ecstatic prasadam pastime. My God, amazing that is. You will be thrilled. How, that one father of the very austere church, he once got a taste of prasadam. What happened to him. You can just see. So Mayavadi's concept of giving up sense enjoyment is that they just give it up. Of course, they also do have, by Brahman meditation, they have some higher pleasure also. So impersonalized also does get higher pleasure than gross sensual enjoyment, but still it is not long lasting. Whereas devotee's pleasure is that he takes pleasure in Krishna, so it is very, very blissful. So His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj was telling once that, see, devotees so nice, they experience such nice pleasure. They see the deities. What is the most beautiful thing in the whole world? Isn't that they are the deities of the Lord? So they get to see the deities regularly. Then devotees get to smell the fragrance offered to the Lord. They get to eat Krishna Prasadam. Krishna Prasadam is so nice, isn't it? And they get to dance, they get to chant. So they get Even on sensual platform, they get much better than materialistic person, isn't it? They are enjoying much more than materialistic person, isn't it? One of the main impetus why our people want to join voice is that bahar khana acha nahi milta hai. Idhar acha milta hai, isn't it? So even we calculate on a materialistic platform, then also devotees at better end. Once upon a time, one person asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, what do you do for recreation? Prabhupada says our everything is recreation. What do you think we are doing now? You know, what do you mean by recreation? Recreation means music. So we have everyday music. Recreation means dancing. We are dancing every day. Recreation means going to tourist spots. We also go for yatras. Recreation means eating nice food. That also we do. Recreation means spending time with friends. So that also we do. And so what else? What else we are doing then? Our whole life is only recreation only. Prabhupada said. So in this way, a devotee, because he experiences higher pleasure, so that's how he is able to work with greater vigor for Krishna consciousness than any other person. So that's why sometimes people feel that these people are escaping. Devotees means they are escaping. They simply want to give up their work. They don't do. Actually, this is very disgusting question itself. Why? Because first of all, it is not that the devotees give up their duties. Their devotees are doing their duties also in this world. At the same time, just because they are giving up sinful activities, one cannot say that they are giving up the world. And also, we see that devotees are not lazy. They are working so hard. In fact, they are working with much more vigor, much more hard work they do, isn't it? So they go in the street and distribute books. They go for Harinam. They worship the deities. It's all requires lots and lots of hard work, isn't it? Management, preaching, so many things are there. It requires a lot of hard work. So devotees are not escaping the world. But actually devotee is working for the higher cause. Devotee is working for the better things in his life. So that's what is required. So we have to understand these things, especially because people in this world sometimes accuse devotees that, oh, these people are just escaping, they are not doing work or something like that. So and neither devotee is a lazy person. He is working with greater vigor. Prabhupada is to say that in ISKCON temples, in temples and monasteries, unnecessary gathering of lazy and useless fellows should be avoided. Prabhupada says in one statement. In temples and monasteries, unnecessary gathering of lazy and useless fellows should be avoided. So devotee really works very hard. So this is called as, so basically this is the symptom of self-realized soul, that he is experiencing great happiness, higher taste, and that's why he is not attracted to temporary sense gratification. And he concentrates on the Supreme Lord. Because of that, he enjoys unlimited happiness. So the only reason why people in this world are not coming to Krishna consciousness is because they don't know the joy of Krishna consciousness. It is said that in front of joy of this thing, um, heavenly pleasures, our pleasures in earth are like one drop in front of ocean. The heavenly pleasures are like one drop in front of Brahmananda. The Brahmananda is like a one drop in front of Bhakti Ananda, the joy of engaging in devotional service of the Lord. So devotee feels so much joy that he is like satisfied with that. That's why this thing Goswami also it is written. Ananda Bardhanaika Nipuno. They are experiencing great happiness, and their happiness simply keep on increasing. Ananda, Ambudhi, unka jo ocean hai, happiness ka, it simply increases. So we believe it, right? They must not be speaking lies, isn't it? So they're experiencing so much joy, so much ecstasy. So Prabhupada gives example of this Chittaranjan Das. So he was earning some 40,000-50,000 those days during Prabhupada's time, but he was follower of Gandhi. So at one point of time, they told him that if you have to join Gandhi's movement, if you are a follower of Gandhi, you have to give up the job with Britishers. He He said, no, he tried to convince that no, because everything has to be Swadeshi and all that. So he said, no, I can fund our Congress, I can fund with that. They said, no, you must give up. So he had to forcefully give it up. And from that, he became middle class person. From very rich person, he became middle class. But he couldn't tolerate that. And he just, died within 1 year only because of that. So because there is no higher happiness in his life, isn't it? He's not able to experience any joy. But devotee, although he may not be doing sinful activities and what materialistic people consider as joy, a devotee may not be having that. He may not be enjoying that, but he enjoys something else. He has lots of ways for enjoyment. There are a lot of enjoying things for a devotee. So, in fact, the right way of enjoying is that we give enjoyment to Krishna. Then Krishna fills our heart with lot of enjoyment. So just like a servant, if he serves the master very nicely, then servant also gets to stay in a nice bungalow, isn't it? He also gets to eat the nice foodstuffs which are he has cooked for master. ऐसा नहीं कि servant के लिए separate foodstuff बनाना पड़ता है. Master whatever eats, his servants also eats. He also stays in a very nice room. Sometimes the master may carry servant for a ride also. So चलो servant को भी लेके आते हैं so that he'll help me. So he also gets to travel in a nice car, isn't it? So whatever facilities master has, servant also gets it. If he is a very faithful servant. Same way, if we serve Krishna very faithfully, Krishna has the unlimited enjoyment, so we will also get unlimited enjoyment. So if a devotee is convinced of this, that by coming in Krishna consciousness, I don't lose anything. In fact, I gain a lot. Then he can actually progress in Krishna consciousness with great determination. Generally, people are not convinced of this. They think that if I come to Krishna consciousness, I lose my pleasures. But no, actually one gets lots of pleasures. This conviction has to be there for devotee. It's very important. So there is a higher taste example, Yamunacharya is quoting. And then Prabhupada is telling Brahma Yoga stage. Brahma Yoga stage means one is absorbed in Krishna consciousness, and that's why he loses the taste for sense pleasure. One is absorbed in Krishna's service. Nava rasadhamni udyantam rantumasi. Not only he is having advanced, he is experiencing newer and newer taste every day. ऐसा नहीं कि वही टेस्ट रोज है, every day newer and newer. मन में से अरे क्या, how can it is possible? Every day newer and newer. आप रोज ही सेम ही मंगल आरती गाते, रोज सेम ही डेटिस का दर्शन लेते, आप रोज वही प्रसादम खाते, आपका वही रहता है खिचड़ी पोहा whatever. You don't go to hotels also for eating. And फिर आप so what is your new and new? See, on a material level also there is certainly variety in terms of things, but at the same time, when one actually experiences the pleasure on spiritual platform, one can experience greater and greater joy. For that one has to come on spiritual platform only. So if a devotee reads Bhagavad Gita once, and when he reads again and again, he'll see that he'll derive so much more and more deeper meanings, So that's the experience of so many devotees. When you read the same Prabhupada book again and again, you will derive so much meanings, so many wonderful realizations will come out. So similarly, when the holy name is chanted with sincerity, one will be able to experience every day new rasas while chanting the holy names. Similarly, when one is absorbed in thinking of Krishna, one can certainly, actually this variety in this material world is how much? In spiritual world, there is multitudes more variety. So it is not that in material world only variety is there. Spiritual world has got so much variety that one cannot even imagine things over there. So it is not that the devotee is deprived of anything. This faith a devotee has to have, because Maya and this material world, it makes the devotee think that, oh, see, you are getting deprived of the pleasure. But actually, it is not like that. One should not fall under the clutches of Maya's proposals that you are not getting any pleasure. So Prabhupada that's how he is telling that this is the test in spiritual life realization, that he gets, he can work with greater vigor, and he is deriving great pleasure. Why? And then this way he is a liberated soul, like that he says. So these are the symptoms of self-realized soul. Now let us go to the next verse. Very famous verse for memorization.
ये ही संस्पर्शा भोगा हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, am I audible?
Yes, bro.
ये ही संस्पर्शा भोगा
ये ही संस्पर्शजा भोगा
दुःखायो न एव ते
दुःखयोनय
आदि अंतवन्त कौन्तेय
आद्यन्तवन्त कौन्तेय
न तेषु रमाते बुद्धः.
न तेषु रमते बुधः.
Translation: An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery, which are due to contact with material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasure have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them. Purport: Material sense pleasures are due to the contact of the material senses, which are all temporary, because the body itself is temporary. A liberated soul is not interested in anything which is temporary. Knowing well the joys of transcendental pleasures, how can a liberated soul agree to enjoy false pleasure? In the Padma Puran, it is said, Ramayana yogino nante satyanande chit atmani iti rama pade naso param brahma vidhyayate. The mystics derive unlimited transcendental pleasures from the absolute truth, and therefore the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, is also known as Rama. In the Srimad Bhagavatam also 5.5.1 it is said, Nayam deho deha bhajam nirloka kashtan kamam arhate vid bhujam ye tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam suddhet yashmat brahma Saukhyam Tva Antanam. My dear sons, there is no reason to labor very hard for sense pleasure while in this human form of life. Such pleasures are available to the stool eaters, hogs. Rather, you should undergo penances in this life by which your existence will be purified, and as a result, you will be able to enjoy unlimited transcendental bliss. Therefore, those who are true yogis or learned transcendentalists are not attracted by sense pleasures, which are the cause of continuous material existence. The more one is addicted to material pleasures, the more he is entrapped by material miseries.
Yeah. So now, this last verses it was explaining about the symptoms of self-realized person. So now detachment from external pleasures and focusing inwards, it requires an understanding that material enjoyment is substantial and foolish. So that's what is being explained in this verse. Because sense enjoyment is ultimately distressful. Sense enjoyment is ultimately distressful. That is what is told in this verse. So now if you see this, study this verse carefully, an intelligent person does not take part in sense pleasures. So that's the symptom of an intelligent person. Why? Because liberated soul, he is not interested, because as we discussed before, he enjoys unlimited transcendental bliss. So Prabhupada is quoting Ramante Yogina Anante, Ananta happiness. What is the nature of spiritual happiness? It is unlimited. Material happiness is always limited. So that is the meaning of Ram. Rama means one who enjoys unlimited happiness. And one who connects with him, he also enjoys unlimited happiness. So this is how those who are devotees or mystics, they derive great pleasure by focusing on absolute truth, who is known as Rama. And then Prabhupada is speaking about the teachings of Rishabdev, that human life should not be used to labor very hard for sense pleasure, because they are available even for dogs and hogs. So for that one should not work very hard, but it should be used for performing penances and purifying the existence. So one should use, so इधर ही बहुत सारे लोगों का जान पे आता है, you know, for what, when we say that do some austerities for purifying existence, नहीं, that we don't want to do, you know. So we see, if you open a cinema theater, so many people will come, isn't it? They want to come for that. But if you say there is Bhagavatam class, nobody wants to come. Why? Because people are so addicted to sense enjoyment that whenever it is told that thoda austerity karo, you know, why don't you hear some Bhagavatam, why don't you chant holy names, you know, even it may take, you know, even sometimes people say even one round they are not ready to chant also. Can you imagine? And they say we don't have time, but they have time for all types of different sense enjoyments. उसके लिए तो बहुत time रहता है. But if you say chant one round, they say don't. Prabhupada tells that you know, two things. One cartoon Prabhupada refers. One lady, she was telling to her husband, chant, 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 and husband was telling can't, can't, can't. So he is ready to say can't, 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 but then he is not ready to chant. Another time, another story Prabhupada tells is that once upon a time, one lady, she was about to die. So then her all relatives and sons, they gathered around her and told her, my dear mother, you are about to die now. So please chant holy names. Please chant the name of the Lord. Please chant Krishna's names. And then, you know, she was just quiet only. She was just looking towards everyone and crying, you know. And then they were saying again and again, please chant. Now you are about to leave your body. Please chant, please chant, please chant. And, you know, finally she became so angry. You know, although she was about to die, she became very angry. This Buddhi, you know, she said, "Ato kata bolte pare." She said, you know. So what she said, you know, ऐसे कैसे बोल रहे हैं मुझे आप? ऐसे क्यों बोल रहे हैं? So Prabhupada said that she is ready to say this statement, but she is not ready to say Hare Krishna. वो statement बोलने के लिए तैयार है कि ऐसा क्यों बोल रहे हैं मुझे, but वो नहीं बोले, Hare Krishna बोलने के लिए तैयार नहीं है. So that is the problem. But Rishabh, what he is telling, that human form of life should be used for performing penances and purifying the existence. That is the purpose of human form of life. Otherwise, sense gratification is available in even in dogs, cats, all the lives also. It is not very rare. It is always available. But what is, one may say, why should I do such penances? You know, for enjoying unlimited happiness. You know, so just like the person, he may, you know, avoid going to play before his exam for higher happiness, isn't it? So that he can give exam nicely. Or a singer, he may avoid eating oily items or cold items so that he can sing very well and, you know, become popular. So that is a higher happiness. Similarly, a devotee, he gives up lower happiness in order to get higher happiness. So, but both cannot be possible. Either one will get either of these things. Only in extraordinary cases, both one may get if one is specially blessed by the Lord. But in general, if you want Krishna, then we have to give up Maya. If you want Maya, we cannot get Krishna. That's the way it is. We cannot get both the things. So one may say, so why it is, you know, what is the nature of this sense enjoyment? The nature of sense enjoyment is that yehi sansparshaja. So sansparshaja bhoga. So yehi sansparshaja bhoga. स्पर्श जब होता है, किसका स्पर्श होता है, किससे? सेंस का सेंस ऑब्जेक्ट से स्पर्श होता है. So sparsha means does not mean directly touching. Even seeing a sense object, you know, beautiful object is also sparsha. It is sparsha through eyes. So sparsha through eyes doesn't mean that we have to touch actually, you know, to our eyes. You know, not like that. Just seeing itself is sparsha. Similarly, smelling is a sparsha. So यही संस्पर्शजा भोगा. So जो भोग को स्पर्श होता है, वो क्या है? दुख का योनि है. योनि मीन्स क्या है? योनि से क्या आता है? बच्चा आता है ना. सो दुख का योनि है, यानी जो सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन है, वो क्या है? वो दुख की माता है. उससे क्या आने वाला है? दुख नाम का बच्चा पैदा होने वाला है. जो भोग है, उससे दुख नाम का बच्चा पैदा होने वाला है. और ये दुख का क्या नेचर है? आदि अंतवंत. उसका बिगिनिंग है और एंड है. it is not uh, it is not permanent. ऐसा नहीं कि हमेशा के लिए रहेगा. And na teshu ramate. That's why intelligent person knows this. So a person who is intelligent, he understands that sense gratification equals misery. This principle is fixed in the intelligent person's intelligence. So how one becomes fixed in that? He becomes free from, a sadhaka becomes free from material modes by a combination of intellectual conviction and a higher taste. Now these two things are essential. One is intellectual conviction. So we have to understand it through proper analysis. Yes, as Prahlad Maharaj also says, these sense pleasures are manasijam. They are born by mental concoctions. How these sense pleasure are born by mental concoctions? Because we see that, they are very circumstantial. For example, somebody has got a very, suppose somebody has got a very bad result in exam. See, even if he is given his favorite items for eating, he will not like them. That will be so distasteful for him, isn't it? So same item which he used to like before, if it is given to him now, he doesn't like. On the but if he gets a very good result, he'll chupchap play in the mind. Actually, it's not in the item, isn't it? It's actually in the mind. Then also we see that these types of our pleasure definition keeps on changing. How many of you have, experienced that your likings have changed since your childhood, isn't it? All of us have experienced it, isn't it? In childhood we used to like something, now we don't like it, and some things we never used to like, now we like that, isn't it? Some people used to like yellow color in childhood, now they like blue color or whatever, some people used to like whatever, to wear half shirt. Now they don't like to wear half shirt, they like to wear dhoti kurta now, isn't it? Or whatever. I am just giving some examples. So we see that our likings keep on changing also. So that means our definition of pleasure also keeps on changing. What is liking? Liking means definition of pleasure, right? What gives me pleasure? So in this way, these pleasures are temporary. This is one way of seeing them as temporary. Another, that even though you may continue to like it, but you will not continue to get it also, isn't it? Like person, he may like rabdi, but once he get diabetes, he cannot eat rabdi, isn't it? That is restricted for him. Although the pleasure, he may continue to like it, but is not allowed. He cannot take it. So in this way, sense pleasure is temporary in this way also. So two aspects. One is that sense pleasure keeps on changing. The definition of sense pleasure keeps on changing. Another, that sense pleasure itself is temporary, and temporary either due to circumstances or it goes away, isn't it? It over the period of time it goes away. We may have purchased a very nice mobile, but it doesn't remain for rest of eternity with us. It goes away after some time, isn't it? It is so many of our dear favorite things are sometimes stolen, lost, isn't it? Or broken, destroyed, isn't it? So many things we have seen. So in this way, these are temporary, and one may say, okay, so if they are temporary, so what? Why should I bother so much about it? No, because when they are taken away, it causes great pain. That's why he's telling that the sense pleasure are the sources of greatest miseries. Why they are sources of greatest miseries? Because one reason is because they produce a lot of pain when they are taken away. They are temporary, so when they are gone, they produce a lot of pain. Like somebody's near and dear relatives goes away, it produces a lot of pain, isn't it? Even for a child, his balloon is broken, it gives so much pain to him, isn't it? So it is not that we are unconcerned if these objects of senses are temporary. No, they are. If just imagine, for all devotees, five gulab jamuns are there. Okay, and then by the time your turn comes, by the time you come for prasadam, now only two are remaining. Is it not a pain? So much pain one gets because of that. One will curse like kitchen incharge, like anything. Or wife, in case of householders, that in Kar's wife also, "Hey, kya hai? Why you are like this, isn't it?" So, so that's how pain, when the things sense pleasures are temporary, they give us pain. Also, sense pleasure, they produce sense gratification, produce reactions also. That way, it is painful also. It leads to some reactions also when one is done, especially against the laws of Lord. When the sense gratification is done, it produces a lot of reactions. Like somebody engages into illicit sex, he may get diseases. Somebody smokes, he gets lung diseases. Somebody drinks, he may get liver diseases. So in this way there is reaction also. In this way also there is suffering. So in short, a devotee has to have this conviction that sense gratification equals to misery. That's a conviction. So in this way, devotee has to have that conviction. Then he can go on very blissfully, because person who is convinced of this is like a dry wood. He can go very easily in Krishna consciousness. He can practice Krishna consciousness very easily. Okay, please go ahead reading next verse. Uh,
We are telling that any type of sense gratification gives us misery. So someone may question that, say I am not doing sense gratification, I am doing Krishna conscious sense gratification.
then it's not misery.
Means say I am taking 10 gulab jamuns every day. So eventually a time will come I will get diabetes. So how you can justify if I am eating not the means which is not prasad, then also I'll get diabetes, here also I'll get it. So what is the difference between those two?
No, you eat 10 gulab jamuns considering that as a mercy of Krishna, or you eat for your own gratification. That's the difference. What is your motivation? If you think, oh, this is Krishna Prasadam, then you should eat 10 gulab jamun and 10 karelas also. Then there is no problem. And then even if you get diabetes, still you will not, because you will not worry, because you'll be detached from that diabetes also, because anyways I am not this body. So there is no misery for such a person. Isn't it? So one is, that's why because you are asking that Krishna conscious sense gratification, that doesn't produce misery, because he's Krishna conscious during that. We see Mahaprabhu's time, if you read Chaitanya Charitamrut, number of items देख के ही चक्कर आ जाएगा हमको, अरे इसमें से 10 आइटम भी नहीं खा सकते हो, right? So then one में से इतना तो मस्त मजा कर रहे हैं लोग, sense gratification कर रहे हैं, but then still they are ecstatic. Why? Because they are not attached to these items for their own sense pleasure, but they are seeing this as mercy of Krishna. Ei shakha Krishna aswadino, ei pizza Krishna. So if devotee can see like this, then he can do unlimited sense gratification. Once upon a time, Rupa Goswami, he got indigestion, and all were surprised. Hey, this person doesn't eat anything. How can he get indigestion? So they called doctor. Doctor told he ate too much. And everybody said it is impossible. We see him. Arey, unka life is open book, Baba. He has nothing secret. His life is fully open book. He never eats anything. How can you say that he got, he ate too much? But then Rupa Goswami smiled and he said, yesterday there was feast in spiritual world, and there was very nice sweet rice was prepared by Radharani for Krishna, and we all got prasadam, remnants of that. So it was so tasty that we could not control. We ate a lot. So that's why he got indigestion. So in that level, sense gratification, that is Krishna conscious sense gratification. If one is really Krishna conscious while doing sense gratification, then there is no problem. It will not produce misery. And so-called disease produced also will be ecstasy only for devotee. That will not be any problem for him. But then, what is the symptom that it is Krishna conscious sense gratification? There is no difference between Karela Prasad and sweet rice Prasad. Okay, there is no difference between particular this singer singing and another singer singing. There is no difference between this dress of the deities and that dress of the deities. That means it is Krishna conscious sense gratification. So that doesn't produce misery. Otherwise, it's you can say it's a pious sense gratification at the max. So there is impious sense gratification, there is pious sense gratification, there is Krishna conscious sense gratification. So accordingly, one gets different things, like that. Pious sense gratification means devotee does a lot of overeating of prasad only, but for his tongue, pleasure of the tongue. So he will also have to suffer some consequences, but still he will not get sinful reactions for it much, hardly, because Yajna Shishta Santa, at least he is, offering to Lord and eating. So he will not be bound by sinful reactions for that. But little reaction will come because of breaking the principle of not overeating. So some reaction may come for him. But if one is non-Krishna conscious sense gratification, then there is more reaction. You know, means it is if a person eats non-prasad, too much, he will not only get indigestion and disease, he'll also get some other reactions also apart from that. Other sufferings will also come. So that is avoided by doing Krishna, by avoid doing self gratification, maybe amongst devotee circle. But beyond that, if one does Krishna conscious self gratification, then there is no problem. Okay. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. Yeah, we'll stop now. It's only Jayapada Maharaj class is going to start. Started already. So we'll stop for today. Thank you very much. This verse was very important. Next verse is also there. I just tell the link. Now what is there? Now a devotee may think that philosophy तो हमको भी पता है प्रभु जी, सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन इक्वल्स मिजरी, ये तो हमने बचपन से सुना है, यानी भक्ति के बचपन से सुना है, फर्स्ट ईयर से वही सुना है, आप वही बताते रहते हैं, बट फॉलो कब तक ये करने का, कब तक ये होगा प्रभु जी? क्योंकि व्हाट हैपेंस दैट although we know philosophy but our senses are pulling us like anything always, so इतना स्ट्रगल करना पड़ता है वो सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन को नो बोलना. इट्स सच अ पेनफुल थिंग. No, when I go to college or company, I see nice batata vada, and all my colleagues are eating very happily, and I am, so I have to say no for it, it's too much. Or ice cream they are eating, or some girl is there and I'm attracted but I don't want to, and I have to say no. So then I know it's such a struggle. So then one may say, can't it happen that my lower taste goes away totally and I only experience higher taste? Or how long I have to struggle like this? कितने दिनों तक ये urges है senses का वो tolerate करना पड़ेगा? So for that Krishna gives answer in next verse. That we'll discuss next week. Okay. Next week mostly we'll be able to complete, maybe Krishna willing, or maybe one more week. So how long we have to tolerate this urges of senses, that we'll discuss. Krishna explains in next chapter. So thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Pranam Prabhuji.
So although I am speaking, but I also have to follow it, especially this verse. Yahi Sansparshaja Bhoga verse always cautions me and alarms me. Because speaking is very easy, but following itself is very difficult. So if you are struggling with this shloka, so please know that I am also in your team only. In the team of struggling people only. I am not in the another team of perfected people. I am also in struggling team. Because although it is there, but it is, to follow is a challenge. Yeah, I accept that. Hari Bol. Thank you. So please hear Chaitanya Maharaj class now, if you like. I hope you all have link and all. Acha, link is given over here on the screen. I can leave this meeting.
Yes. We need to